on Cable 14. The Hamilton Cardinals exhibition season rolls right along. And no, it's not Groundhog Day. It is back-to-back school day games. Another couple thousand kids screaming their heads off. And hey, it's even a day for the Dogs. I got a Bulldog logo on my chest right now. You can see it, IBL Baseball. The Hamilton Cardinals are back on Cable 14. It's Friday morning. Yeah, you heard that right. It's Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball back on Cable 14. The Cards taking on the Brantford Red Sox as we continue on the road to the home opener next Friday night. The Cardinals will open their season on Thursday night. It's Duthie alongside my broadcast partner Neil Srivastava and very special guest to open the show with us. A man who will likely have a big hand in either the season opener or the home opener. Not sure what the schedule looks like, but Colby Ring is sitting up top with us. Colby, welcome to the broadcast. Colby, yesterday we saw you take the hill up against the Welland Jackfish. You got 3 innings of work in. How did everything feel as you got going here to open the season?
Yeah, it felt good. Honestly, it was good to get the first one under the belt. Obviously the nerves kick in a little bit. Obviously, first start of the year, but yeah, everything, body felt good. Everything came into the season feeling good, and it was good to get those first 3 innings out of the way, and now we're ready to go. So
this lineup looks even deeper than we saw an impressive season out of last year. And before we went there, we talked about the guys who came in after you on the day. Drew Mainprize, Nick Davies, Callum Blue, 3 young pitchers. We saw Mainprize and Davies last year. It felt like as young pitchers, they had their struggles. They looked like new players out there on the hill yesterday. 2 guys with a whole lot more confidence, and Callum Blue was just sending rockets across the plate. How much confidence is there in this pitching staff right now?
I think the confidence level is extremely high right now. You saw it obviously the first game in London and then against Welland too. We have a really good staff this year. We added a few key pieces, which is huge obviously. I mean, you can't go wrong with having a lot of arms on the team, right? So, it's good. I think you have to have confidence, especially when we go out there and take the hill, man. You're the center of the stage. So, it's good to have those guys come in and shove like they have been. So, it's always a positive thing for sure.
When you look behind you defensively this year, last season you had the MVP standing way out in right field. Now he's only a few feet behind you at shortstop. Have you ever seen a right field MVP player say, hey, I want to move to an even more premium position on defense and play shortstop?
Yeah, no, I think we can all agree that's the biggest shortstop in the league.
That's what I said yesterday. I can't think of a guy bigger playing that spot.
Best mustache for sure.
You're giving him a run.
I know. Hopefully I can give him a run for his money here soon. But, yeah, I know that's just I know George talked about it too. That's just a huge team thing, especially Dunk, MVP right fielder or center fielder, I guess, too. And then moving to shortstop just to open up some space, like bring in some arms and stuff like that. That just shows the kind of character that he is. And I know it's a super athletic kid. Like he's going to play anywhere. You could probably throw him on the mound and he'll be outstanding, right? But that's it's just a huge thing for this team, and him moving there, he's not going to have an issue, right?
Absolutely.
So awesome.
Sign that kid to just do that opening pitch.
Absolutely, yeah.
He's coming for your spot.
Yeah, jeez, give him a shot.
Well, now he's a righty, so the Langley lefty's sitting up with us. How well did you know Tyler Duncan before you guys arrived here with the Cardinals?
I knew Dunk through playing out in BC. He's obviously a few years older than I am. I think I played against him maybe a few times. He was always older, but and then I knew that he came and played here, and we obviously became really good friends. And he's kind of like a mentor to me, like an older brother, basically. It's cool to kind of look up to him and follow in his footsteps. He's an outstanding player, and then he's just an even better guy off the field too, right? So, kind of just an all-around great player.
Now, I've got the luxury of sitting up here with an authority on the IBL and Neil. Neil, put Ringer on the hot seat here for us.
All right. right, hot seat. Okay. Least favorite batter you had to face so far in this league?
Least favorite batter. Man, that's tough. I got a few buddies on Welland. I know Steven Moretto. I played against him for years. He's kind of had my number. I've got him out a few times last year, and then I got him out yesterday too, and then he hit a double off me, which is a shocker. Honestly, the Barrie Baycats lineup, they had a few guys last year that tagged me every single time. Other than a few starts I had against them that were really good. I don't know what it was about them. They just seemed to figure stuff out quick, which is obviously not ideal, but
They did that to a lot of people.
that's true. I know. It's just crazy.
And it was just your first start. It's against the Maple Leafs. Like, I don't know how much you knew about that team or anything or that lineup. Then you strike out a two-time league MVP in Jordan Costado, not twice, but 4 times in the ball game. Costado didn't strike out often, never mind 4 times in one ball game. I don't know how you did it, but you did.
Yeah, you have to have the same mindset every time, no matter who's in the box. Like whether it's Barry Bonds or, like you said, it's Costado, right? It's just that level of confidence that you need to have as a pitcher, and I think that I carry myself in a way that can show confidence, not in a cocky way, but it's a confident way, right? And you need to have that when pitching, and it's just so important for a lot of guys, not even myself. And it's it's just that competitive edge that drives you to want to be better. But yeah, I'm looking forward to facing those guys again. So we'll see.
Now you've got a specialist on the team this year. You guys went and got 2 arms for the price of 1.
We did. Yep.
How in the world, as a lefty, you got to look at this and go, how can this guy throw a 4-pitch mix either right or left? How incredible is that as someone who pitches at this level to see done?
I mean, yeah, this is the first time I've seen a switch pitcher in my life, so it's kind of cool to learn from him specifically. Like, you can kind of pick his brain a little bit. I mean, if I were to go out there and try to throw right-handed, it'd be ugly, I'll tell you that. But no, it's super cool to see, and like you said, you get 2 arms for the price of 1, right? So you could start him on a Friday left-handed, and he's going to come out Saturday and throw right-handed. So it's super cool to have, and it's super unique, right? And it's it's going to be a huge piece for us this year.
When the Cardinals announced that move, we'd already seen the team just lengthen out. You look at already some of the changes today from yesterday. Danny Berg, Lane Renault, they both get into the game today. And then to add that, almost like the cherry on top to start the season, getting an ambidextrous pitcher in one of those import spots. Colby, it's got to be a great feeling in the locker room because you lost Stefan Strecker, at least for now. I mean, we're not going to try to pull him out of retirement just yet, but you lose a legend in that spot, and George goes out and finds somebody that we're not going to say he's going to fill Stefan Strecker's shoes because there's nobody that's going to do that, but that brings that varied skill set. That had to be a big boost to the team to turn right back around and add that piece.
Absolutely. And I know we talked about adding key pieces to the lineup this year and even on the staff, and that's just such a huge, we go back to talking about confidence. It's just like, I think last year left a bad taste in our mouth, and we definitely wanted to change things, especially losing in the first round of the playoffs. You want to go into the offseason, what can we add? What can we do differently to make that next step forward to end up winning a championship? And I honestly think that we went and added those pieces this year, which is, super, super high value. And, these guys are going to come in and they're going to be studs for us, right? It's simple.
Neil and I had George up here yesterday, and I lost track of the number of times he said the word character.
Yeah.
Is there a noticeable difference in the clubhouse this year on that character level? Because George really emphasized bringing in not just talented ball players, but great characters over the offseason.
It's a huge piece. And I know I've talked to George one-on-one about it too. Character on a team plays such a huge role. You want to have guys in the locker room that are built in to do exactly, what our goal is, and that's to win a championship at the end of the day, right? So, to be able to bring in guys that are not only good ball players, but are just great dudes is such a huge piece for us. And, it's just a good locker room vibe, everything like that. Even at the house is awesome. Everyone kind of just goes about their business. Everyone knows what the task is daily, day in and day out. And, there's not much more you can ask for, right? Character is such a huge part of this game.
I mean, it really felt, Neil, I think you got the same sense of it, too. George has taken the level of competitiveness for the Hamilton Cardinals up several notches since he arrived. And he has got to be as big of a piece being in the front office that Eric Spearin brought in as anybody down on the field because of the experience and the mentality that he brings.
I mean, both. I can't say enough good things about Eric and George. Like they've kind of turned this club hopefully into a dynasty, right? Like you bring in George and he's such a good baseball mind and such a good person.
Well, let's put it right out here.
Yeah.
If not for Eric and George, Colby, you sitting here right now?
I don't think I'm here, to be honest. I don't know where I would be. Obviously playing baseball for as long as I can is the goal. And without George, I've known George back in BC too, and without his input and selling the team to me and bringing in Eric and kind of what he was bringing to the table, it was kind of just a no-brainer to come here. And like you said, if those guys weren't here, I don't know if any of us would be here, to be honest. Right?
And that's about as much of an endorsement as you can have.
100%.
And Neil, you and I have seen it. We've been the beneficiaries of being able to call these games. What a difference it's been in the Hamilton Cardinals over the last year.
Yeah, outstanding.
3 years ago, and it's like, okay, they're competitive, but they're not going to be in the top 4.
Yeah.
And now you go out and look at this lineup anytime, and an opportunity you're going to see. They're going to be definitely striving for that top 4 as we go to the national anthem.
Definitely.
That young lady does not have a record contract. She needs to have one. Somebody's got to get her signed up.
No question they do.
Colby Ring, really appreciate the time. Thanks so much for being up here with us.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so
Best
much.
of luck this season, and hopefully on an off day we can get you back up here and do this again.
Anytime. Absolutely.
We're going to hold you to that.
Absolutely.
Colby Ring, one of our favorites here on Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball on Cable 14. And Neil, you and I got to do his first couple of starts, and I think it didn't take long for us to realize that young man is a special talent.
No question, he definitely is. That's for sure. And of course, they get, like George is, like we mentioned off the top, George has been definitely bringing in character players to put this ball to up to that next level, and I think we're not that far off now.
Yeah, and I go back to my experience with the now Brantford Bulldogs, and the difference when Steve Stais made it a point, an emphasis to say it is all about character in our locker room.
Yep.
2 championships have resulted from that, on the chase for a third, and I don't see it any different. Eric Spearin, I know, has had long conversations with the Bulldogs front office, and I know he's taken a lot of ideas and sense of culture from that, and from seeing it work, I think the Cardinals are on the right path.
It definitely is. We're on the right path here in Hamilton.
And that's exactly what we want to see. Now, as we get going today, the Brantford Red Sox are not going to be easy to square off against. Fabian, Bowles, and Wilson to lead it off. Burdette, if anybody gets on base. Neil, this lineup for the Red Sox, we saw it last year.
Yep.
They can score runs.
They can score runs. It's just a matter of if they can prevent the runs that come across on the diamond. So they're definitely going to be able to put up runs, and there's no question they've given the Cardinals fits all last season and the year before. It's just a matter of if they can get it together and get the pitching staff to commit and just keep the balls, the strikes in the zone as far as that stuff goes, and cut down the walks and cut down the mental and the physical errors they tend to make in those later stages. You can look at a handful of ball games last year. They were leading in the 8th inning, but unfortunately came out on the wrong side of it.
For the Cardinals on the hill today, Mitsuki Akatsuka And he is going to throw lefty, I believe.
I think he's going lefty today, yes.
And he is the import pitcher that we were alluding to with Colby Ring.
Yep, well, exactly. Ambidextrous, and then it's just, I've only seen it done a couple of times by a few kids here and there, but it was more of just a novelty for this. But Masuki here, he definitely takes it seriously.
He's already confused us. He was warming up with his left. He's throwing right to lead off against Fabian.
Maybe he just wasn't feeling the left today. Who knows?
What a skill to be able to do that.
Sorry, Coach, not feeling lefty today.
No, the curveball's not right on the left. I'm just going to throw 90 with my right.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
Goodness. What a job by George Helene to go out and be able to find him and bring him here. 1-0 the count. And Fabian will swing this to second, and quickly on. Brandon Daly has it cut down one away.
Going to bring up Kieran Bowles batting in the 2 spot today. Bowles, of course, a former London Major. Got a ring with the Majors, and now his second season with the Red Sox.
And we talked about this, I remember, a couple times last year, Neil, in games against the Red Sox and the development of the organization. We talked with Stefan Strecker about it as well. He was part of that dynasty in Brantford, and the team fell off.
Yeah.
And it feels like there's been a rebirth in Brantford, and this lineup really shows it. They went out, they invested in it, they brought excitement back to Arnold Anderson Park, and I think that is going to be a driving factor, although as you mentioned before we went on air, Matthew Fabian will be absent for a couple of months on the season.
Yeah, we talked to him just before the game and everything else, wished him well, and said, he's like looking at leaning towards going to the Empire League for June and July, trying to get some more bats, getting another opportunity to see what baseball is like outside the IBL, outside the college level. And you wish him the best, and you hope I said, no offense, man, I wouldn't be surprised you're not back.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. A rookie last year hitting 400.
Yeah. I just reminded him, hey, keep doing what you've been doing, and just relax and have some fun, see the baseball. And just remember, it's still a game at the end of the day.
Absolutely. If you're not having fun with it, what's the point?
The count is now 2-1 on Bowles.
Just focusing in on the pitching motion of Akatsuka. And he's got that pause in his delivery.
I've definitely seen a lot more of the Japanese guys have got that kind of pause in their delivery. I don't know if it's just how they're all coached over there or just they all adapt the same sort of motion.
But it's got to be tough when you go up and you see yesterday what Colby Ring and the way he delivers the baseball, that long stride. It's all one fluid motion. His ball on the ground at third. Luis Bernardo knocks it down. Over to Renault at first, 2 away. It's got to throw you off a little bit when you're so used to seeing that
fluid motion,
to the plate, and then Mitsuki Akatsuka comes along, and he's
got that little pause, almost like he hits the PlayStation pause button halfway through the delivery.
That's a good way to look at it.
It would definitely it will throw us off too up here, just because we're so used to seeing that fluid motion, and it's going to be like, oh, okay.
Gus Wilson steps in. And it is a swing for strike one. Appeal went down to first base.
Jeff Rose on the bases again. I'm not sure who the plate umpire is today. I just didn't recognize the gentleman. But Rose is down at first.
Yeah, we had Jeff Rose yesterday in the field. And when there's a runner on base, he'll shift over.
Yep.
We talked about it yesterday. Just simply, Jeff Rose, one of the best umpires certainly in the IBL, but I would imagine just about anywhere around.
Mm-hmm.
As the count 1-1 to Wilson.
Wilson, one of these deadly hitters in the Red Sox lineup. He just finds ways to bring home runs.
Akatsuka delivers, and that one framed well, coming over the plate.
Wilson asking where it was, and then just nodded his head in the agreement. Yeah, it's a strike.
That's Andrew Johnston handling the catching duties today, as the other 2 catchers are in the field.
Yep.
As this one teed up, just up over Duncan at short. Wilson rounds first, and he'll hit the brakes As quickly onto it is Danny Berg playing center field.
Wilson's aboard with 2 away, and Nick Burdett will be the batter.
Remember what we said yesterday about Salazzo and Duncan? Flick of the wrist and the ball can be out of here?
Yeah, Burdett's in that same category.
He sure is.
That home run derby at the All-Star game is going to be something else.
Oh, that is going to be fantastic. I'm hoping that the All-Star game will be quickly on the move.
Yeah, I think it will be. But usually what the league's done in the past is that the defending champion has the option to host the All-Star game if they want to.
Burdett waves it out into left field. Rempel laid out for it, but it'll bounce back to the track. That's going to bring Wilson all the way around from first. Burdett standing double. 1-0 Red Sox in the top of the first. Production with 2 outs.
Yep. Burdett got one on off the end of the bat and was able to extend it all the way into left field. Tanner Rempel tried to get to it, just dove in vain. And Burdett stands a second with an RBI double.
Step up to the plate, the catcher, number 84, Jeremy Veilleux.
I'm going to bring up Jeremy Veilleux. We had a good conversation before the game, as always, too. He's vowing not to be second in the league in hit by pitch this year. He's taken off the magnet out of his back pocket. He's promised me that.
The number of times we saw him last year, and it just the wackiest
Isn't that Fabian?
things.
Fabian leans into it, where Veilleux doesn't. So I don't know how he kept getting hit by it.
That's what I couldn't understand, and it just seemed like the wackiest things would happen to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get hit by lefties coming across the plate
exactly.
somehow.
It's just like, how did this happen?
It's either the worst luck or the best luck, depending on how you're judging getting on base.
He swings through that offering to make the count even at 1-1.
So is it adversity for the first time for Akitsuka on the mound in the IBL? As he will take the long look into Johnston and deliver, and that one fouled back into the mesh, 1-2. So started to mention today, Tanner Rempel playing left field.
Yep.
Luis Bernardo is at third. Those are 2 guys that are regular, especially Luis Bernardo, catchers. Johnston behind the plate, and he is a big fella.
He is a big fella. He goes to the University of Guelph, and he's a big boy.
He gave us the scouting report there, Neil, on Andrew J. You'd know him well. You'd know him better than I.
I didn't really get to see him a lot this year. I think he was a freshman this year, and he didn't see a lot of action because they had 2 established catchers and Robbie Gauthier and I can't remember the other kid's name, but it was just those 2 catchers seemed to take the most precedence. He did a lot of work in the bullpen, though.
All of a sudden, everybody wanted. When I was a kid, I had to be the catcher because I was the only one that would do it.
Oh, exactly. It's like, yeah.
Oh, beautiful pitch there from Akitsuka as he catches Veilleux looking. And it's 1 run across for the Red Sox in the top of the first. Cardinals will have the bats in their hands for the first time with Berg, Renault, and Duncan as we return to IBL Baseball on Cable 14. It's Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball preseason action. Once again, 7-inning game here this morning. So that opening inning run by the Red Sox is important as Jeremiah Sucre gets the ball, Neil.
Sucre will be facing Danny Berg to lead things off. Lane Renault will be batting second at first base. Tyler Duncan is at shortstop batting third. Tanner Rempel in fourth. Luis Bernardo is batting 5th at third base. Dennis DeBanning is in right field, batting 6th. Josh Williams, designated hitter, is batting 7th. Brendan Daly is at second base, batting 8th. And Andrew Johnson, as we mentioned in the first inning, the big guy, is batting 9th for your Cardinals.
It almost sounds like you've done that before.
Just a few times.
So Danny Berg and Lane Renaud, they weren't in the game yesterday, and whether that was work-related or just the Cardinals
Trying to get some guys some at-bats again.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It goes back to what we were talking. We talked about George Essay, talked about Colby Ring this morning. This is a really deep lineup, Neil, when you come in and you can move pieces around the chessboard, and Danny Berg and Lane Renaud weren't in yesterday. That's 2 quality bats and quality fielders that get to step back in today. The only trouble is going to be figuring out on a night-to-night basis how you're going to take all this talent and align it.
Well, that's why I'm glad I'm not letting him code it for once. Just like, I don't have to figure that out on a daily basis, because I would probably lose sleep over it. Am I getting Jimmy enough at bats? That's the whole question.
It's one of those situations. I have this conversation with Jay McKee all the time where I tell him, boy, I would not want to be you.
Yeah.
And I mean that in a positive way.
Yep.
As Danny Berg will step in. And Danny Berg, a player that we saw last season, a lot like Lane Renaud, who will hit behind him. In clutch moments, Danny Berg has a sense of the dramatic.
Yep.
And having met him around the field a couple times last year, a heck of a nice guy.
Yeah. That's exactly what we said. These guys off the field are so nice and so approachable, too.
It's one of the reasons why when we have the luxury of Troy Islikar with us on the broadcast, he loves being downstairs, because we got to make sure he actually is doing his job, because he just likes hanging out down at the dugout with the guys.
Oh, exactly. Probably not chomping on sunflower seeds and, I don't know what they got, juicy fruit or double bubble down there. I'm not sure.
Either one.
Yep.
I'll take it. Big League Chew, maybe?
Maybe.
See if I can supply some of that up here for us during the season. That's always my go-to at Christmas. Can you slide some of that in the stocking for me?
Always a good thing.
1-1 to Berg to open up from Sucre. He'll wind and deliver.
Well, that's actually my PlayStation Network handle, Big League Chew. Had that forever.
There it is.
I was looking for something for a unique name when the PlayStation Network came out and everything else, and I'm looking down at my ball bag, and the first thing I see was Big League Chew. I was like, there you go.
I mean, it's just too perfect.
Yeah.
Berg hammers this, but it's high into the air, deep into left center, and it's going to fall. Berg standing at second on the double. Might have been some confusion, as coming over for it out of left field was Tebbett and Keene in center, and I don't think either one really made the call.
No, I don't think they made the call, and I just don't know if they lost a little bit of it in the eye, and they saw each other out of the corner of their eyes and didn't want to run at each other, so they kind of just backed off, both of them. As you see the replay real fast here, and it's just like, yeah, they kind of just both bailed out of the way a little bit.
The I got it, you take it play.
And then I don't got it. Oh, crap.
Well, now neither of us has it.
Yep.
And Danny Berg is standing at second.
For Lane Renaud.
And Renaud, no stranger to driving in runs.
His 7th season with the Cardinals. It seems like it's such a long time now.
It really does. Swiss Army knife of a player, can play multiple positions around the diamond. We've seen him at third, we've seen him at first, we've seen him at second for part of the season last year. As Sucre delivers, and that one high, 2-0. Lane Renaud also possessing a keen eye, Neil. He's not going to let you away with too many cheap strikes.
No, he's not.
And that goes along with his experience at this level.
And he's disciplined enough not to chase pitches that he doesn't have to go after.
As seen right there.
Sucre was trying to go a little further outside there, and Lane's like, I'm not biting on that one.
So 3-0 with Berg at second, and the Cardinals very quickly finding themselves in a good spot, trailing by a run.
And Tyler Duncan way in the wings here.
And we saw what he did with the first pitch he saw yesterday as Berg takes off. Renaud swings, and Berg has third base. So a little hit and run action.
I think Berg just got a good read, figured out what Sucre's delivery to the plate was, and just took a couple extra steps there.
Well, and at 3-0, Renaud, no problem in taking a hack at one either to help in that spot.
You see him get the good lead there, and yeah, he got another good read off that one, as the replay shows.
And the ball's going to run inside after the Berg steal. So the steal works to third. Renault takes first. And just like that, it's 2 on and nobody out for Tyler Duncan. This is not the spot where you want to see Rocky Mountain Thunder step in.
Now, if you're Jeremiah Sucre, you're just like, okay, now I've got to face their best hitter.
It took one pitch in his first at-bat yesterday for Tyler Duncan to send it over the right field fence.
Yep.
Sucre delivers, and I believe he's going to be pretty cautious here, running that one inside.
Like he tried to bring it in on his hands there so he couldn't get extended on it.
It doesn't get any easier behind Duncan.
It definitely does not.
Tanner Rempel's the man on the Cable 14 deck.
Throw over to keep Renault honest at first. Try to keep the double play in order here.
How about that, by the way, downstairs, Neil? That was slick on the part of Jonathan Friedman.
Yep,
the on-deck
deck circles, I love them.
Cable 14 branded. That could be the work of only one man.
Yep.
Sucre delivers, and that one over. 1-1. Runners on the corners. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. As Sucre, long look in, and now he's going to check back to first. Lane Renault not shy about stealing bases, but certainly not going to go Brandon Nicholson.
No, he's not going to be going first movement here. He'll find his spots.
Nicholson would already be waiting at third.
Yeah, be pushing pushing Berg home. Move it, Junior. I got to take third.
Once he gets on the base path, and Brandon Nicholson not in the game today, but he just kind of does what he wants.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, that is an elite skill set in his stride.
I got to go back to yesterday when he was at second base talking to Tyler Dupuis. I wonder what the conversation was like, though.
I'm going.
Yes. Hey, can you stop moving now? Come on. Like, you're making me work too hard out here.
Duncan puts a charge into it, but that's going to drift foul. And it'll even the count up at 2-2.
I feel bad for all the parents that parked here for the track meet, unaware there's a baseball game going on. They're going to come back to smash windshields.
Well, and that was my wonder coming in today is I saw the parking lot and thought, wow, this is a high traffic game for a game where most of the spectators are coming in on a school bus.
We wheeled up at 9 o'clock, and I'm like going, why is the parking lot so full? Like, our spots are still where our spots are, but it's just like everything else was full.
Duncan on the ground. Renault on his way to second. Berg's going to charge home. It'll work out as a bit of a sacrifice play. Duncan will get the RBI with Berg crossing, and it's 1-1.
Duncan is recorded on the out. 4-3, give him the RBI. Berg comes home to score. Renault makes his way to second. And Tanner Rempel now will bat with a runner in scoring position and one away. And a 1-1 ball game.
And we know from last season, Tanner Rempel can bring it. And he is stepping right in tight in the batter's box. And that one just cuts over the inside corner. 0-1.
Well, it was interesting. Matt Fabian and I did an interview over the offseason, and he said, I don't know. He doesn't feel bad about stepping closer to the plate here because he's not sure anybody in this league is able to pitch inside with consistency.
Laying out a bit of a challenge, is he?
Yeah, a little bit.
Breaking ball there from Sucre, crossed over, and it's 0-2. Well, when you hit 400 plus as a rookie,
yep,
it gives you a bit of a license to make those observations. Sucre delivers, and
case in point,
plunk onto the arm of Rempel, who will shake it off and jog down to first.
It's like the old coach from Cheers. I'm on my way to first. Don Baylor was always great at that, too.
Cheers reference.
Yeah.
You know, my dad, when he was in Boston, went to the Cheers bar in was a little bit let down that it is not what it looked like.
No, exactly.
On TV.
It's like they hype it all up, and then it's like you go down there going, this is all it is? Like, come on. This doesn't even look like it.
This is not.
And there's no Melville's restaurant upstairs.
No. And he knew that Ted Danson would not be behind the bar.
No, exactly.
But he was still expecting a bit of the set.
You thought some of the set or something would be there, but the Bull and Finch bar does not have that.
Delivery from Sucre runs high. And that was kind of a letdown for me because my dad and I have been planning a trip to Boston for years.
Yep.
And that was one that I had on. I think we're still going to have to do it. Just check it off the list. But
we even just stand outside it. We went there. We
We've
can go in.
There, yeah. Bernardo, high into the air, just back off short, and that will be brought in
By Gus Wilson.
Gus Wilson made sure he had an emphatic call of that one.
Yep. Going to bring up Dennis DeBanning, the right fielder now with 2 away. Runners at first and second now. And if you're Sucre, you just want to get this out here. You'd rather face Josh Williams with nobody aboard here coming off to lead off an inning than facing him with potentially bases loaded.
Because as we have mentioned, when Josh Williams gets his timing, there's going to be a whole lot of balls flying around Bernie Arbor Stadium. Speaking of which, Dennis DeBanning just tried to take the cover off of it. As Sucre gets him swinging for strike one.
It's going to be important to get him hot, too, as far as at some point just get him in the rhythm and feeling the baseball like he was in various spurts last year.
Sucre having a look back. Renault at second, Rempel at first, and DeBanning puts it on the ground. Wilson corrals, quick chip over to second, and we are through one inning of play, but a run scores. Berg comes around, Duncan the RBI. We're 1-1 through one. You're watching Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball on Cable 14. Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball on Cable 14. We start our second inning, and it's going to be Bateman, Ryan, and Tebbett to face Mitsuki Atsuka to open up this second inning.
Lucas Bateman, the junior call-up from Ancaster, Ontario, will lead things off for the Red Sox in a 1-1 tie.
The Ancaster products have got to be a little bit on the border, I suppose.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if they flip coins or something. Say, you get this guy, I get this guy, or what. Or maybe they have a little, an unofficial draft. Who knows? We'll have to ask George.
Yeah, that's a question we'll have to ask him. If you got a prospect that just depend like Jerseyville Road, like how does
what's the cutoff? Where's the boundary?
How do you know if it's Brantford or you, or does it take a case-by-case basis, perhaps?
Maybe it's just like whoever decides to sign who first. Who knows?
As Atsuka will deliver. It's one of those rules coming out of the OHL, Neil, in the draft is it's Ontario, and then it's certain states in the U.S. that you can draft from. But if you waver too far west or east, you run into the rights for the WHL or the QMJHL, which then threw everything into flux this season when the Bulldogs drafted Aidan O'Donnell of Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia.
Okay.
His dad played 5 games in the OHL in 1998, and unknowing to him at the time, when he stepped foot on the ice for the first time, it meant that any of his future children, which he wasn't even thinking about then, became OHL eligible.
Wow, I did not know that rule.
I didn't either, until the day we drafted Aidan O'Donnell.
It was probably some old guy in the back of the room pulling out the dusting off the rule book from 1978 point. That's just the rule.
Our director of player personnel, Dave Gray, knows it inside and out.
Yeah.
As Atsuka delivers on the 2-1.
Well, I'm glad somebody does, because those are kind of those rules they pull back out here in the inter-county once in a while, and I'll get the phone calls when I'm at a wedding.
Yeah, that's not exactly where you want that from.
No. That's what happened with the 3-batter rule last year.
Oh, okay.
It's like, did we adopt it or not? I'm like, I thought we did, and then I'm looking at the rules going, no, I guess we didn't. So the umpires in Barrie and the Barrie-London game stopped the game thinking,
You were the, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You're the phone a friend?
well, because everybody else didn't know the rule, and they couldn't get a hold of anybody from the league, so they called me, and I'm like, I'm at a wedding, guys. I have no idea what's going on. My phone's going ballistic, and I'm like, this is not fair.
What are they going to do if you take a vacation?
Yeah.
As this one on the ground is short, Duncan collects. He'll whip it over to first and skite it a bit over the head of Renault.
A little too much mustard on that throw. Again, Duncan's so used to throwing from right field that, he's going to have to, readjust his bomb sights here.
But that is why it is so key to get him these reps in the preseason.
Yep.
Because Tyler Duncan, we know he can make that throw without issue. It's just a matter of, as you said, Neil, readjusting it and bringing it in a little bit.
Yep. And again, he's probably not used to having to make that reaction time in less than 0.4 of a second either.
Yeah, a little bit of a different twitch when you're doing it in the infield from short as opposed to trying to gun from right.
Yep. And that'll bring up Evan Ryan, the designated hitter today. The Red Sox got the leadoff man aboard, and strike one on Ryan.
And Bateman aboard on the air to Duncan.
Evan Ryan went to Canadore College. Brantford native, so a local boy.
And Akatsuka's going to get out front of him 0-2. Now, not unusual for Japanese ball players in the Japanese language, the names compared to how we pronounce them in English are reversed.
Yeah.
So Mitsuki Akatsuka will wear Mitsuki across the back of his jersey, much the same way Ichiro Suzuki did.
Yep.
You'll recognize it from previous Japanese ball players, but it's always an interesting note to see it. And in fact, it was on the lineup card.
Yeah,
the way that would be done
that's what threw me off. I'm like,
Japanese.
Wait a minute, which way is it?
As Akatsuka will deliver. And that one over the plate, got him looking.
Nice pitch there, and Ryan not liking it, but he is walking back to the dugout with little opposition.
Second staring strikeout of the game for Akatsuka.
Graham Tebbett now the batter.
So Tebbett will hit with one out and one on.
Graduate of the University of Toronto, Varsity Blues.
Baseball might be one of the few sports I have not called a game from the Toronto Varsity Blues. Basketball, volleyball, football. But never had a chance to do a baseball game.
Well, if Brock asked me to do the regionals, you're more than welcome to cut you along.
Okay, I might have to. Just to be able to cross a few of those universities that I've called doing everything else off the list.
I'm pretty sure they're hosting the regionals, and they're also hosting the OUA finals this year, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not sure who's actually got the finals yet. I know they have the West regionals, so we'll see.
As Akatsuka works ahead, 0-2 on Tebbett.
Between now and then, I think I've got 70-odd games on the schedule before that happens anyway, so it's okay.
You've got some other scheduling
I got
things
some priorities before that happens.
Yeah, you do. As Akatsuka delivers, and that one...
I just got to make sure my
inside.
kids don't put my face on milk cartons. Have you seen our dad? Everybody else has seen our dad. We have not seen our dad.
Yeah, we saw him in Barrie. We saw him in Hamilton. We saw him.
Yeah. If found, have him call home and bring allowance money.
Well, that's
Yeah.
see, there's the key.
Yeah.
Ball on the ground. Johnston up to fire to second, and he got too much of it. That'll carry into center field. And what was a runner on first is now a runner on third, as Bateman will scoot his way all the way around.
And a 1-2 count on the batter, Tebbett. Red Sox now got a base runner 90 feet away here. A ground ball or a sacrifice fly will give them back the lead here.
So will that be scored as a stolen base and an E2?
Yep, that's exactly what I put it down in the book at. I'm going to just have to confer with our friend behind us here, Mr. Nate, but he doesn't have a point streak going tonight because there's nobody in the database yet.
We very much look forward to point streak being up and
Yep, we do.
as Akatsuka gets him swinging, and that's his third strikeout of the ball game.
That'll bring up the center fielder, Roger Keane, who's batting the 9-hole. Of course, the Red Sox are batting 10 batters today because they can use the extra hitter in an exhibition game.
I was just going to go to that because I was going to say, Neil, you won't see Matt Fabian up following Keane.
Yep.
As Akatsuka has the long look in. Over the plate, strike one.
And it's really interesting because when we did the games in London last weekend, Roop Chanderdat batted 9 guys to the 6th inning. And then in the 6th inning on, he added more guys to the lineup at the tail end after the 9th batter.
Interesting.
So it was just kind of interesting how, okay, so different parks have different rules, different managers had different rules. Whereas Brantford, when they were down there, they batted 10. And I think when Hamilton was in there, I think they actually batted 9 and they put extra guys in later on as well. So I guess it just really depends on what they're feeling that day.
You know, and
And what they have for bench and who's supposed to be getting some at-bats here, too.
in terms of exhibition baseball, I think you just let it fly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let these guys get into the season. I think the more guys that can get loose, get ready to go, just raises the level in the IBL
Yeah.
overall. Doesn't hurt anybody.
Nope.
As Keane will look at the 2-1. As Akatsuka delivers and gets him swinging through it. Boy, when Akatsuka reaches back and wants to let her fly,
It flies.
you can see why General Manager George Aleem was so excited to get him. Put aside the lefty-righty split.
Got some balls that dance, that's for sure.
And he'll get him swinging for the third strikeout of the inning. 3 straight strikeouts as Ryan, Tebbett, and Keane go down. 4 in the ball game for Akatsuka. They'll strand a runner at third, and the Cardinals will have the bats in their hands when we return to Burning Arbor Stadium on Cable 14.
Let's check back in with our good friend Emily. What are you doing over there, Em?
Welcome back. It is Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball on Cable 14. And Neil, as you mentioned in the bottom of the first inning, as we open up the bottom of the second, Jeremiah Sucre would much rather see this gentleman, Josh Williams, step up to the plate without anybody on.
Oh, exactly. If you make a mistake here, it's not going to be a 2 or 3 run shot. It's a 1-run shot. As he fouls off the first offering from Sucre for strike 1.
Williams just has such a sweet swing.
Yep. Battled his way through knee injuries and a couple knee surgeries over the last couple years as well, but now he's got hopefully a clean bill of health and ready to contribute to this Cardinals lineup.
As you and I were talking about yesterday, it was one of the moves of the offseason that everybody kind of went, oh my.
Yep. Well, apparently he works in this area too, so it just made more sense for him for travel-wise. So,
as Williams puts that on the ground, great diving stab by Burdette, the big fella, off first base.
Dusts himself off at first, gets a pat on the back from Sucre, and a little fist pump from the second baseman as well.
So we talked about what Burdette can do with the bat, but in the field, my goodness. That was outstanding. Take another look at it as Williams puts it on the ground.
Burdette with a great play.
Wow.
That'll definitely make the highlight reel tonight.
I certainly hope so.
Putting the star beside it, so we'll grab it later.
Looked like it was, good move. Looked like it was labeled right through the hole, and Burdette said, not so fast, my friend.
Not today. I got this one.
Brandon Daly, who had a really, really strong outing yesterday against the Jackfish.
You got to remind yourself, this guy's still junior age, so he's going to be devoting his time between here and the Hamilton Junior Cardinals too, so he's going to see lots of baseball this summer.
And he is one of those pieces, Neil, that you got to feel like can be a cornerstone moving forward.
He foul tipped that one off. And makes the count 1-1. Sorry, 2-1 now.
1-2 is the signal we're being given.
Okay, well, not looking at the scoreboard anymore then.
Sucre delivers. Daly loops it and brought down at second base. Athletic play by Bowles.
That'll bring up Andrew Johnson, the 9-batter for the Cardinals.
Step up to the plate, the catcher, number 50, Andrew Johnson.
And Andrew Johnson getting the opportunity today to step behind the plate with Rempel in left and Bernardo at third. We'll see what the big fella behind the dish can do with the bat in his hands. And whoa! That ball's not coming back.
Nope.
That went way out of here, foul behind us. That might be over near the track meet.
Johnson's just 20 years old. Played for the Otucks Dogs last year. Of course, he's at the University of Guelph now, Toronto native. 6'1", 220.
And you can very quickly see what kind of power he can put into a baseball.
Indeed.
As Sucre working ahead 0-2, delivers right over the plate, strike 3. Sucre works a clean second inning, and we will go to the top of third. Back to bat for the Red Sox when we return to Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball on Cable 14. Welcome back to Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball here on Cable 14.
Oh, man.
Mitsuki Akatsuka getting ready for his third inning of work, but Emily Thompson, the incredible host here in the park for Cardinals games, just had one of the games that, Neil, you and I essentially looked at that like they were going into the Matrix.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're going to have to go bullet time here and have spine replacement just trying to keep up with that one. 3
school kids locking hands and going through a hula hoop, and they had to do it without breaking grip with one another.
Yeah.
Forget it. No. You'd have to wheel me out of here.
Yeah. The poor St. John's ambulance guy down beside the dugout would be just too busy with both of us.
Yeah,
yeah.
No. Maybe you and I could get a group rate on a room.
Yeah.
Because that would certainly be the end for both of us.
John would have to get us wired up in that that hospital room. You guys are calling him remotely today.
If anybody could do it, John
would
could find
figure
a way. Yeah. Call Brendan and say, I think I'm going to be out. Oh, you think you're getting a day off? No.
No days off in this league. Come on.
No, not a chance, buddy. So Mitsuki Akatsuka, Neil, making quite the impression through 2 innings so far. He surrendered the run, but 4 strikeouts.
Yep.
And as you and I have been talking about, you can clearly see why George Lee made it a point to go out and get him.
Yep.
And now we come to that
extra hitter.
Strange spot in the order, the 10th hitter.
The 10th man, 10th batter.
10th man, did he arrive from the grassy knoll?
Yeah.
As Wilson leans in. Delivery from Akatsuka. Oh my goodness, the break on that.
Wilson was just overmatched on that pitch. He was way out in front of it. He saw the spin, thought it was a curveball coming in, and all of a sudden, and then the bottom dropped out.
Now, Akatsuka can throw fastball, curveball, slider, changeup with both right and left.
I can't throw one with one hand, never mind 2.
It's silly. It's just downright silly. And I believe that was the slider that he got Wilson all crossed up on, working ahead 0-2. A little bit hard to tell with Akatsuka because his breaking pitches have so much dance to them. And forget the break. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Strikeout number 5 as he goes low in the zone with a bullet.
Tyler Wilson's going to be like, I blinked and I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah, he's going back to the bench going, I don't know what you want me to do. I do not know what you want me to do with that.
And Matt Fabian will be the batter as the Red Sox are back to the top of their order here in the 3rd with 1 away.
So Matt Fabian will see if he can find an answer. Lined out to second in his first time up. And very quickly, Akatsuka gets himself ahead 0-1. Delivers right at the knees, 0-2.
It looks like he's bulked up a little bit, too, from last year, Fabian has.
I was going to say, I don't think he's been a stranger to the weight room.
No.
He was already in great shape as a rookie, but
he also is an athletics therapist, too, so.
That's not going to hurt.
No.
Off speed from Akatsuka didn't get Fabian to chase, and you're not going to get Fabian to chase much.
No.
Set the league on fire as a rookie, really led to a rebirth for the Brantford Red Sox. And Akatsuka will deliver, and that one cuts low again. And Neil, this league is just better if the Brantford Red Sox are a good team.
No question they are.
You want this league to be as competitive as possible. And the competitive balance of the league will drive growth in the league as Akatsuka, nice job by Johnson to try to frame that. And Fabian from 0-2 works himself to a full count. Are we surprised?
Nope, not surprised at all. He's got a lot of patience at the plate.
Full count, 1 away. Akatsuka delivering to Fabian. And Fabian fouls it away to keep himself alive. So we'll see the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers arrive this season. And I think future expansion would really be helped, Neil, if that team can get off to a good start in the IBL this year.
Will be. if they can come in here and prove the model works, it'll just definitely probably encourage more people to get involved as far as, investing some more money into the league.
Fabian loops this one in behind second, and he'll find a soft spot. Right into the triangle, back off second, and out front between center and right. And Matt Fabian has himself a single.
It was just a good job by Fabian to hit it where it was pitched and just put the bat out enough to get it where he needed to put it.
He just makes it look easy. I go down there and try that, and I'll corkscrew myself right into the side of the batter's box.
You and I are going to have to take batting practice one pregame just to see how bad it is in here.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to make a complete clown out of myself.
Oh, so will I.
Okay, well then.
I'll be lucky if I hit it past third base, but that's beside the point.
What are we worried about? Let's try it. I'm in. As Bowles will send this one into right, and Banning quickly onto that, 2 away. We'll rely on Jono and Brendan downstairs to set that one up for us. As Brendan Nicolo getting into my ear, our producer's not paying attention to what I'm talking about.
Uh-oh.
So we're leaning on you to set Neil and I up for batting practice before a game there, guys down in the truck. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Now it's going to be filmed.
Now it's being filmed. Now we're in trouble.
Now we're in big trouble.
Now we're going to get hitting advice from Tyler Duncan.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. He's probably going to be laughing.
Close your eyes and swing as hard as you can.
You've seen me in a batting cage,
yeah.
I see. Count 1-0 to Wilson. And taken off is Fabian for second. Johnston's toss is going to be behind. And Fabian will have the steal.
I believe that is a strike called on the play as well, but I'm not sure. Umpire had his arm up still.
1-1.
Yeah, 1-1 is the
count.
Give Fabian the stolen base.
So now a runner in scoring position for Gus Wilson. Changes the complexion a little bit of the top of the third here. As Akatsuka will wind and deliver. And this one on the ground to second. Daly on the scoop. Has the look over to Renault at first. And Mitsuki Akatsuka is through 5 strikeouts. Just the 1 run against, and the Cardinals back to the bats when we return to IBL baseball on Cable 14. It's Hamilton Cardinals IBL baseball on Cable 14. Our second of 2 preseason outings here at Bernie Arbor Stadium, and the Cardinals and Red Sox all tied up at 1 as we hit the bottom of the third. Reed Neal back with you up top.
Just saw the big screenshot of the hardest working truck crew in the business here in Cable 14.
They are incredible. As much as we like to give them a hard time,
we do it in fun.
Yes. Brendan Nicolo, he and I have been doing games together for, I don't know that either one of us wants to admit to that, otherwise give up our age.
Yep. You were a young man, okay.
At one time we both were, and starting off together.
Man, now I really feel old.
as Danny Burke will
Back
step
in my day. Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no. As Burke, who got on with a double and then stole third before scoring a run in the bottom of the first.
There's activity in both bullpens. Guys just getting loose by the looks of it.
Of course, mentioned Brennan, Jeff Patterson downstairs, another gentleman I've had the pleasure to work with for many years. And Jonathan Friedman, the hardest working station manager in television, who is working a camera down at field level today. As ball on the ground is second, tossed over to Berg. Now, Jono, I only got a chance to get to work with starting a couple of years ago, and I could work with him for a career. He is one of the most fun guys you could find running a broadcast because he will never ask you to do anything that he won't do himself.
Well, exactly. He'll usually tell you how to do it. As Lane Renault will be the batter now. He's 0 for 0. He walked in the first inning.
Remember last year, opening night, when we had the truck power down. Power just zapped out at the truck. Jono essentially put on a search for generators. He managed to locate him and get us up and running in the middle of the game with the truck somehow. That you're not going to get that anywhere else. As Lane Renault.
Big strike one.
Hammers this one deep into right. Just before the track, Fabian will put on the brakes. 2 away.
That'll bring up Tyler Duncan, who's got an RBI ground out in the first for the Cardinals' lone run.
Number 5, Tyler Duncan.
And the home runs that Lane Renault, Tyler Duncan, Dennis DeBanning, Luis Bernardo and company hit in this ballpark last year. Even more impressive, Neil, the fact that this is not a short park.
No, it's not. It's definitely not a short porch at all.
Deep center field is well over 400.
I think it's 408 or something. I can't see the sign anymore. They've covered it up out there.
It's because Eric Spearin and company have got sponsors all over this ballpark.
Exactly.
What a job they've done over the season, the off season, pardon me. And the revitalization of baseball in Hamilton. It's just great to see as Duncan has that one on the ground, and that'll roll foul.
Just a little early on that swing. Got it off the end of the bat. As he checked the end of it as he steps back into the box.
And Neil, over the years, I've stopped in along the way to do Cardinals games at various times, but it wasn't until last year when Eric Spearin got control of this franchise and decided that he was going to make this a destination for sports fans in this area that I got a chance to come out and cover it on a regular basis and got the chance to very happily work with you for the first time as that ball runs inside.
A lot of fun. I remember being nervous going, okay, this guy does a lot of stuff. So it's just like, don't screw this up.
Oh, it's been great.
Yeah.
I think, and then we added Troy down at field level.
Yep.
And I think it's been a beautiful partnership as Tyler Duncan will swing away, but it has certainly turned into a place to be for sports in Hamilton, and it'll be the Brantford Red Sox who have the bats back in their hands when we return for the top of the 4th inning. You're watching Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball on Cable 14. It's Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball on Cable 14, and we've got a change on the mound. Mitsuki Akatsuka will give way for Takaki Iguchi to make his first inning at home.
Indeed he will.
And a definite different delivery to Akatsuka, Neil. A bit of a submarine pitcher is Iguchi.
Sometimes he alternates between his submarine and he goes over the top a little bit as well, so I guess it's just going to depend on what he's feeling out there and what kind of grip he's got on the baseball. Saw it a little bit last Saturday in London. He was mixing it up a bit.
And he does right there. And that will run the count to 1-1 to Nick Burdett, who has the only RBI of the day for the Red Sox.
RBI double and a great defensive stop in the second inning as well.
Back to the submarine style, and it'll run to 2-1. So I don't know how many times I've seen this before, Neil. A pitcher alternating, going over the top and submarine.
Isaiah Ramos, actually, from the Red Sox, has a couple different deliveries as well. So,
well, he notwithstanding, he's got about 12.
Yeah,
if
we
I
call him
remember
the
correctly.
chameleon because you
Yes.
just don't know what's going to come out of his arm.
I remember doing a game with him, with you last year.
Yep.
And just being in awe of, I can't remember, we got up to 7 or 8 different deliveries that he used. As that one almost ended
came up here.
Yeah, for us. As Burdett fouls that one back into the mesh.
Got to check the insurance policy on the laptop, that's for sure, in case we get one of those dinged.
It's happened before.
Yep. Don't think I want to go to my boss and say I need that on the laptop.
No, probably not. Burdett on the ground. Iguchi firing over to first base. Renault will give him the quick flip, and it's one away.
3-1 will go the putout to retire Burdett, and Jeremy Villieu will bat here. He's 0 for 1 in the contest. He struck out looking in the first.
I think Burdett's walking back to the dugout going, hey, nobody told me they have a chameleon now, too.
Yeah. Somebody get Ramos on the phone. He's spreading.
What have you done?
Yeah.
You've started a thing. As Iguchi delivers high to Villieu, 1-0. And it's not a surprise that George Halim would go and find a pitcher who can make that work. He's got an ambidextrous pitcher. He's got a multi-release pitcher. He's got Colby Ring, who steps from here to Burlington when he releases the ball. As Iguchi in again. Strike one. 2-1 the count. That's got to mess with a hitter a bit as well, Neil, when you can see him go over the top and then to submarine very quickly.
Yeah, well, exactly. You're trying to get set up, okay. His arm release is up here, and next thing you know, it's from the side here. I got to adjust my timing where I was.
Yeah, I was thinking 3/4 slot initially, but he's lower than that.
Yeah, it's almost underneath.
Yeah, it's not quite a Chad Bradford scraping your knuckles, but it starts up, and then he kind of turns out to deliver it side.
Definitely going to have to break that one down a little bit throughout the season just to analyze it better.
Yeah, because it is a very different look. As Iguchi with the long look in, full count. Delivers over the top to Villieu, and Villieu will draw the walk. One on and one away for Bateman.
Lucas Bateman reached on error the last time up, got stranded at second base. Third base in the second inning. Stole second and got reached third on the error on the catcher.
Yeah, one of the strangest trip around the base pass, an E6 to get on, a stolen base, and an E2 to third.
A little too much mustard on 2 throws in the same batter.
And Iguchi will have him looking at strike one. Well, when you're trying to build a team, it's going to take all kinds. As Iguchi turns it back to first. And that's what we were talking to Colby Ring about, and they've certainly deepened that pitching staff over the offseason. Oh, great breaking ball there on the over-the-top delivery from Iguchi, and he had Bateman way out front of it.
Bateman's just trying to put the ball in play here and way out in front of it on his front foot.
You know, the other thing that might be interesting to find out with Iguchi is the pitch mix. What can he throw from the sidearm position versus what can he throw
over the top?
Yeah. Sidearm again. Veilleux's going to take off the second. Ball kind of bobbled on Johnston. So it'll be a steal for Veilleux.
I wonder if Veilleux just picked something up on that delivery or his release point or something there, because he got an extra step.
Well, if anyone would, it'd be a catcher. Over the top goes Iguchi, ball on the ground. Daly, a little bit of a juggle. How'd he manage to keep that in his hands?
That's some good concentration right there.
Over to Renault at first for the out. It will move Veilleux over to third, but really impressive from Daly. That ball looked like it might eat him up a bit.
Yep.
The double juggle, bare hand onto Renault.
Spun out of his hand, spun out of the glove, and he just was able to get the hand back on it and throw it back in time. Great concentration there.
And that changes things a little bit for Ryan, who steps in out of the DH spot.
Went down looking in the second inning.
Because instead of it being one out with Veilleux in scoring position, he's only 90 feet, but it is 2 out.
Johnson will have to be a wall here in case anything gets away from him.
Yeah, we've seen that backstop at Bernie Arbor play some havoc before. It is a deep back.
Yep. But it's a chain link fence, whereas at some other places it's like almost like a mesh. Here it's chain link. If it hits the pole the wrong way, it can go either right or left and up to the line.
And I was just about to say, Neil, as you and I talked about yesterday, with a good enough runner.
That's fouled away here off to our left and out of play.
Way, way out. With a good enough runner, a ball to the backstop, and we talked about it in the context of Brendan Nicholson. If it gets to that backstop and then shoots either right or left off the fence, he can score from second.
Oh, no question he could. If he's in mid-stride and gets a good read on it, there's, okay, it's breaking this way, I'm taking off.
And Jeremy Veilleux, there's no question, it wouldn't take much of a break off that fence for him to score from third.
Oh, no, plus Veilleux knows this place very well. He was at McMaster University. Was on the Cardinals a couple years ago as well, so he knows this ballpark.
Johnson and Iguchi getting back on the same page, and then took a little bit of time, so Ryan's going to take his opportunity to ask for time. Now everybody appears set to go. Iguchi delivers and gets him swinging, strike 3.
Ryan mad with himself on that one. Looks like he took a chomp out in the bat, and as he's going back to the dugout.
6 combined strikeouts in the game for Cardinals pitchers. That's the first for Iguchi, and that will earn the Cardinals the ball back in their, or the bats back in their hands when we return. For the bottom of the 4th, you're watching Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball on Cable 14. Hamilton Cardinals IBL baseball on Cable 14, and Neil, you said it in the break. Apparently you speak his name 3 times and he appears. Isaiah Ramos is out of the bullpen for the Brantford Red Sox, and you thought we saw a chameleon delivery from Takaki Iguchi.
Yep, all
Isaiah
bets are
Ramos,
off now.
About to say, oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah. Hold my beer, or my Gatorade, I guess, because we're still playing baseball. Hold my Gatorade.
Do they have the cups down there? Is it sponsored? Maybe we need to call somebody.
Yeah.
So Isaiah Ramos will be pitching to Jeremy Veilleux, and you could be asking him, okay, what deliveries are you going to use today?
Yeah, really. Maybe he's just got a special one just for you and I, too. Have his hat or something.
Oh, goodness.
A Savardi and Spinorama or something out there.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Probably not a legal pitch, but it'd be fun.
Wasn't Hideo Nomo turned almost backwards?
Yep.
I still don't know how he did on one leg.
Yep.
His ligaments were, in fact, rubber bands.
The native of Baldwin Park, California, another Antelope Valley College graduate.
And we see the El Duque-style leg kick to open us up.
Gets ahead in the count at 0-1.
Tanner Rempel had to be walking up going, oh,
No,
great.
not this guy.
Rempel gets into that, but it's going to fly into foul territory. Burdette trying to chase on, and it just kept bending away.
I asked him about it last year. He's just like, I guess it's just really what I feel like.
I mean, if you can do it,
Yeah.
why not?
He finds when it works for the day and he uses it. Or he'll make, if it's not working, he'll switch it up.
I think it's an incredible skill to be able to pitch at that level while using multiple deliveries.
Yep. A great outing by Jeremiah Sucre today as well.
Yeah, just the 1 run against. Both our starters going 3 innings today. Again, 7-inning game for preseason ball. But what we saw yesterday from, I think Colby Ring went 3 innings.
Yep.
As Rempel will put a jolt into it into left, and Rempel's going to be on with the single, and that is what he can do so well for the Cardinals. He gets hot, and he'll have this ball all over the park.
Rempel reaches base for the 2nd time today. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. And that'll bring up Luis Bernardo with a runner aboard and nobody away here in the Cardinals' 4th.
And Bernardo caught going around on that one. Tried to check it at the last second, but just wasn't quite able to hold up. As Ramos will have the look in. Delivers outside, 1-1. Now, feel free, Neil, in this spot to call me a little bit biased, having grown up a Red Sox fan, Boston Red Sox fan. I think these are 2 of the best jersey combinations in the IBL.
I think you're very right on the nose as far as that stuff goes.
I mean, the classic look for the Red Sox.
Yes.
I think, I hope the Boston Red Sox never change
Yeah.
the jerseys.
But I think you're going to grow on the Maple Leafs new ones this year.
Yeah, I want to get a look at those in person.
They've gone a little bit back to the old international style. They've kept the traditional Leaf logo in place. But now they've gone to the fonting where it says the Leafs from back from the International League. So it looks really nice. It's got 3 different color variations. They got a white one, they got a blue one, and they've got a baby blue one as their 3rd alternate.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
So I got Salazzo trying to sneak me a couple of those somewhere so I can hang them up in my room.
Oh, yeah, that sounds quite nice as Bernardo will fly this one into center field. Rempel started towards second, but will have to move his way back as stepping over for it is Keene.
And of course, you have the Welland Jackfish with they've revamped the green one. It's got a little bit of homages to the region and everything else. It's got Bridge 13. It's got the Welland Roses on it. It's got some other stuff on it, too.
Yeah, and I mean no disrespect, because I think the IBL, in terms of jersey quality for a fan, has one of the highest hit rates in all of sports. But the revamped Cardinals look, going to that steel style, the riveting, the angrier Cardinals. Rempel on the run, and he's going to be in second with the stolen base. Thought about heading to third, but didn't have enough room to make it work.
Ball just scooted away from the infielders up the middle there.
I mean, you take a look at the red or black Cardinals hats.
Yeah.
With the Cardinal carrying the hammer.
Oh, exactly.
Outstanding. And like I said, the Red Sox just a classic look.
Well, my classic H hat from last year for the hammer. I'm not sure which one of the kids walked off with it, but I know somebody has it at their house, and I haven't seen it since. So.
Yeah, I'm lucky that I don't have to worry about that just yet.
Just yet, yeah.
As Ramos delivers.
But they got us new ones this year, so you know what? I'm going to put this one under lock and key now. It's like yeah.
You know what was great over the offseason? I live just outside of the Hamilton city limit, and my parents live, you could probably see their house from the edge of the mountain here. As DeBanning puts that on the ground, it'll be fired over to first. Burdette kept the foot on the bag, and that'll be 2 away. I'd wear my Cardinals hat around the community.
Yep.
And everywhere I went, it felt like somebody would recognize the logo.
Yep.
That right there tells you the impact that Eric Spearin has had on baseball and the recognition of this team in this Hamilton community.
Exactly.
And that was whether it was in the West End, East End, downtown, everywhere it was getting recognized.
Yep. Now we just need the black one to complete the trifecta, I think.
I have a black one.
You have the black one, yeah.
I did go out to get it.
Nice.
As Williams will flare this one up and out.
Gonna need winter toques for next year.
That'd be all right.
Yeah.
I got to be careful of that, though, because I'm on the bus, so
Yeah,
I try to
you
keep the black and gold when I'm on the bus.
Yeah, you have other priorities and, probably responsibilities to your branding and your livelihood, no less. Where I can pull that one off.
That's right. Yeah, you can make it work.
But if you want to throw some Bulldog stuff my way, by all means, I'll wear it around.
Oh, I can make that happen.
I'll wear it around.
I can definitely make that happen for you.
If anything that Jenny doesn't want to steal from me first, that's okay. I may have to bring a couple extra for her.
I'll find a way.
Perfect.
I think we're going to get a look at the Leafs jerseys as Brendan Nicolau and the truck. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Put them on the list as well. As Williams flares that one to short. Real nice running stab made. As
Gus Wilson.
Gus Wilson cuts that down. So you're exactly right, Neil. I'm going to add them to the top of the list because that is a beautiful style.
Yeah, it is.
And, those baby blues. Jonathan Salazzo's going to look pretty good sending balls over the fence in those.
Yeah, he is.
All right, we're through 4 full innings, on to the 5th, and we're still all locked up 1-1. You're watching Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball on Cable 14. It's Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball here on Cable 14. Takaki Iguchi will continue on to the top of the 5th for the Cardinals. We saw Isaiah Ramos in the bottom of 4 come on, and Neil, since the first inning, there's been nothing to report on the offensive side.
No, exactly. The bats have kind of gone quiet, and the pitchers have taken over here in this ballgame. Graham Tebbett, Roger Keane, and Tyler Wilson due up for the Red Sox to start the 5th inning in a 1-1 tie.
As far as we know, the Red Sox continuing on with 10 batters.
Yep.
So Tebbett, Keane, or Wilson will have to get on to flip back to the top of the order and Matt Fabian. And that's not exactly what Iguchi would want to see. And it doesn't appear that there's any action going on in either bullpen, right? Although now one Cardinals pitcher starting to take a step back.
I think he's just picking something up, actually.
That could be. As it seems like both sides giving a bit of room to work for Iguchi and Ramos.
Of course, these two teams will meet again on Sunday in another exhibition game at Arnold Anderson Stadium at 2 o'clock on your Sunday afternoon on Mother's Day.
Yes. Mother's Day, I've got the plans in motion. As Iguchi has that one fouled back by Tebbett. I will be able to tell you about it next Friday.
Yes.
When we reconvene for the home opener. But can't let the cat out of the bag just yet.
No, you can't do that.
However, I think I've got a winner this year. As Iguchi delivers and Tebbett sends that one hot towards his own dugout. You got the plans in motion?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I'm taking care of it tomorrow because I'm working the game Sunday, so yeah.
Fair enough.
Everybody's having breakfast on Sunday morning. I'm probably ducking out a little early to go go down the road to Brantford. We're convening at the Full Plate in Paris.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's a good choice.
Can't go wrong there.
No, you can't. No, you can't. 2-2 the count. As Iguchi will wind and deliver and appeal down to first. Did not go.
Rosie said he did not go around, and Tebbett will extend his at bat here to a full count.
I think Rosie was right on that one.
Yeah.
From our angle, it looked like Tebbett was able to put the brakes on. Iguchi delivers. Tebbett on the ground towards second. Daly gets down to get to it. Over to Renault, and it's one away.
Be interesting to try to get Rosie mic'd up, or at least get a camera on Rosie one of these games where he's working the plate, just so we get a different view.
Now, we were talking about jerseys and style in that last inning, and there you see it. There is the whites that you'll see them wear here at home with the red, the away setup, the gray with the black cap, and then those, we see these a lot on Friday nights, the black and red alternates.
With the hammer logo predominantly on the hat.
I mean, how do you go wrong there?
No, you don't. Those things sell it faster than they can keep them in stock.
Well, that was a big problem last year, as I remember, down at the merch stand.
Yep.
Was they were having all kinds of trouble keeping stock. Iguchi, sidearm delivery. Renault into foul ground, keeping an eye on the fence. Oh my goodness!
Did he make the catch?
Did he pull? He did! Are you kidding? Lane Renault hits the flip over the foul fence and comes up with the grab.
Somebody did tell Lane Renault it's just an exhibition game, right? You don't have to go through the wall.
Are you kidding? Wow. Lane Renault selling out for the team.
And it looks like he's all right. That's the more important thing.
Yeah.
Taguchi just bowed to him.
What a catch. Renault was sizing it up. I saw him peek down at the fence a couple of times. As Taguchi opens up the at-bat to Wilson with a strike, but wow. I was going to say it'll take our breath away. It probably took Lane Renault's breath away.
He's still breathing over there. He's not doubled over, so I guess he's all right.
I go back to being a Red Sox fan and watching plays made like that in the center field bullpen at Fenway Park. And Lane Renault, yeah, you're right, Neil. Exhibition? What exhibition? I can get this out. I'm getting it. Saw the school kids just mob over,
Yeah,
too, to see that.
You just see a whole crowd confirming over there, and you're like, okay, is he coming back up or what?
As this ball skied foul.
Like, thankfully, where we went over, there's a little bit of a separation between the fence and the seating area. So,
yeah.
He had a little bit of place to land.
Yeah, he had some grass to land into. But Lane Renault gave it everything he had right there. Higuchi 2-2. Ball up the middle. Higuchi almost came up with it. Daly does get it on the backhand, and it'll be just behind as...
Valiant effort by Brandon Daly there, but just unfortunately not enough mustard on the throw. Tried to bounce pass it across. And Wilson's aboard with a 2-out single.
I don't think there would have been enough time anyway had he been able to transition it any quicker. I think by the time the ball got to him, it was pretty well established that Wilson was going to have a single. As you said, Neil, great effort from Daly there. More importantly, he tried to make the play over to first. He didn't sky it.
Nope.
He put it to where Renault could get it easily to at least make the attempt. As now Fabian to bat with 2 away and 1 on.
And an 0-1 count on Fabian.
As Higuchi delivers, breaking ball, didn't cut back in. 1-1.
Now watch where Fabian sets up here. Like, I know the line for the batter's box is completely erased, but look where he is. He's almost on top of the plate.
He's in the kitchen right now as this ball skied high.
That might be a tough play here.
In between 3, it's going to fall. Second time that Fabian has made that work.
And a pull cool shot by Fabian here, and he's aboard. Runners now at first and third. If Wilson was going full tilt, he probably would have came around. Didn't realize there was 2 away. And Kieran Bowles will be the batter now.
So
Bowles is 0 for 2 in the contest.
Wilson going first to third and opportunity knocking. Higuchi having to navigate his way through a little bit of danger here in the top of the 5th. And Bowles is going to send this one high. Back off short is Duncan, and Higuchi into a little bit of danger and right back out of it, Neil.
Got the out he needed here and kept the Red Sox from scoring a run despite getting 2 base runners aboard in the inning on back-to-back singles.
So we will go to the bottom of the 5th. Brendan Daly will be the man to lead it off for the Cardinals when we return to IBL Baseball on Cable 14. It's Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball here on Cable 14. We hit the bottom of the 5th inning. Still just 2 runs total in the game, Neil. 1-1. Isaiah Ramos continuing on, although action beginning in the Red Sox bullpen, as Brendan Daly will be the first man to face him in the bottom of 5.
Daly will be followed by Andrew Johnson and back to the top of the order for Danny Berg for the Cardinals as they look to get something going in the home half of the 5th inning in front of this. Another great crowd on another great school day.
And the kids have been all over the stands today, too,
Yeah.
down both sides, and trying to get as up close and personal a look. And A lot of fans coming out for autographs when the players go walking along the fence. Can't say that I blame them.
No, exactly. And these are the lasting memories that these kids will take away from a day like today and hopefully transpire to their friends and their parents, and hopefully see a bunch of them back out throughout the season.
Ramos delivered and Daly chopped it on the ground, foul. Brandon Daly leans in, Ramos delivers, and that one low. Trying to get Daly to chase on the 0-2. And Daly will keep the bat alive. Ramos working quickly, although that one in behind the Cardinals second baseman. And Ramos immediately said, that one's on me.
Yep. Just slipped out of his hand halfway through his delivery.
You can see right away Ramos saw it and went, oh no. That one off the outside edge, and Daly's worked his way from 0-2 to a full count.
It's interesting where Ramos lines up as far as when he sets up the toe in the rubber too. Depending on which batter's at the plate.
Daly charges it into right field, but Fabian right there for it.
Good read by Matt Fabian right off the bat there. He took a couple steps to his left and made the catch with ease. Daly retired on the F9 for out number 1 in the 5th.
Cardinals have gotten some good contact, Neil, but
just nothing's dropped in so far.
No, they haven't had any of the Matt Fabian sort of pool cue shots into the middle of a triangle. And it looks like we've got a little action down in the Cardinals bullpen, as well as Johnson hammers that one way out of here, foul.
Somebody in the track field is getting a souvenir and I didn't expect tonight.
That's the second time he's launched a foul ball way out of the stadium. If he can get around and put it into play, that thing is going to travel a mile.
It is.
Ramos cut that one inside, 1-1. So far, we've mainly seen Ramos use that high leg kick delivery. Got it into the hands on Johnston. It's down to third base, long throw. It'll skip in the dirt. Burnett able to handle it. And it's 2 away.
Lucas Bateman with the play on the 5-3. Johnson's retired for the second out of the inning.
Another nice defensive play by Burdett. Got down into the crouch and was able to handle that.
Yep.
Almost like a back catcher coming up out of the dirt.
First baseman's got to be pretty much able to react to a bunch of things. Either you got to stretch sometimes you got to take it off the bounce. Sometimes you just got to have the clairvoyance to get off the bag and do the sweeping tag as well.
Jeremy Veilleux might have a look at Burdett and say, hey, don't be coming for my job.
Yeah.
I'm the catcher here. It looked like a little bit of traffic there as both bullpens working, and I think a errant ball caused
flying down the line.
Danny
Berg
Berg
fouls that one off.
Berg scored the only run of the game for the Cardinals, all the way back in the bottom of the first.
Leadoff double. Stole third base.
And since then, not a lot has happened. The pitchers have been outstanding. Akatsuka and Iguchi for the Cardinals, Sucre and Ramos for the Red Sox. As this ball skipped on Veilleux and gets up into the meshing in the back.
Looked like it hit off the plate. Ramos' ball just dropped right out of his hand there.
Very likely. And as we mentioned yesterday, Neil, we're probably getting to that time where we need to reiterate a game after 7 innings that is tied will go down as a tie.
Because, again, guys have just been giving pitching assignments. You're pitching the 5th inning. You're pitching the 6th inning. They don't want to extend them too far. The guys are just trying to get some work in here.
We had the walk-off win for the Cardinals yesterday. Berg puts this one on the ground. Taking it second, on to Burdett at first, and it's 3 away. So 5 innings down. Game remains 1-1. We hit the top of 6, and it will be Nick Burdett, I do believe, leading off that inning for the Brantford Red Sox. Or did I skip one ahead there?
I think it's Gus Wilson.
Gus Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, I looked at it wrong. Gus Wilson to lead it off for the Brantford Red Sox. Won't be the first or last time I came up with 2 and 2 equaling 5. We'll be back with Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball on Cable 14. It's Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball on Cable 14. Cade Kozak in to pitch the top of the 6th inning. First time we've seen him at Bernie Arbor Stadium.
Native of West Kelowna, BC. Played for the Kelowna Falcons and attended Lee University.
And that pipeline to BC continuing on for George Aleem and the Cardinals. Now, Tanner Rempel has moved down to 3rd. Luis Bernardo has come out of the game. And we have a mystery man in left field. As this one off the glove of Johnston.
I'm just giving Bernardo a couple of innings of rest here, too, because, he caught yesterday. He's playing 3rd now, so this might be a little bit of a rest. Or maybe he's going to pitch. Who knows? He might pitch
We
the 7th.
have seen that before.
Yeah, he might pitch the 7th inning.
As Kozak has that one in. Looked like it ran maybe a little bit inside. 3-0.
Or it looks like he's right now. It looks like he's just signing his life away down there to a bunch of kids.
No, not a surprise.
Yeah.
Kozak gets that one over the plate. 3-1. Still trying to get a read on who that is in left.
So we need a telescopic lens up here or something.
Yes, Gus Wilson will take the walk down to 1st.
And the leadoff man will be aboard here to start the 6th inning. Going to bring up Nick Burdett, who's double homing a run already in this ball game. He's grounded out 3-1 in the 4th.
As silly as this sounds, the left fielder hasn't turned around yet, so
No, we can't figure out what number
we
he's
can
wearing.
see the number.
You're not finding out who I am till I tell you who I am.
We know that it is not Tanner Rempel because he's at 3rd.
Yep.
And this is suddenly becoming an Abbott and Costello routine.
And we got a mound visit now, too.
Yeah, Cade Kozak struggling a little bit coming in to find the plate. And this could just be settling down a young pitcher.
Hey, just relax. There's a big crowd, we get it. It's a different mound. Relax, take a couple breaths, just hit the catcher's mitt a few times.
It's more difficult than it's not as difficult as you're making it. You're making it more difficult than it is.
Don't overthink this. You've done this 1,000. All right.
So we're being told it's number 28 out in left field. And let's see if that, I don't have a 28 on the.
That's Callum Blue if it is. That's the right number.
Well,
unless Callum gave his jersey to somebody else today.
Casey Howard was listed on the lineup card as 32.
Yeah.
But Callum Blue is number 28, and that is who is in left field. So until we know any different,
it's Callum Blue.
We're going to have to go with Callum Blue. And if you look, as Kozak runs that inside on Burdett, if you look at the height on the left fielder, it
does fit the build.
Yeah, it fits the build for Callum Blue. As Kozak, we're being told it is Callum Blue. Jeff Patterson in the truck confirming to us it is Callum Blue, a pitcher that we saw yesterday playing left field. Why not?
Why not?
Really looked good pitching an inning yesterday.
He did.
2-2 the count to Burdett. Kozak, the BC product. Fires in. And off the second is Wilson. He was going on the motion. And
yeah, Wilson didn't hesitate whatsoever there.
I thought that was going to be a strikeout on the pitch, but
even Burdett wasn't sure, but it just missed.
Count runs 3-2.
So how'd you get the fancy Yeti Cable 14 bottle?
That goes back to producer Travis Blackwell.
I'm going to have some words, I guess.
It was a Christmas present.
Oh, okay.
That I got in the OHL Tonight booth at one point.
It's a very stylish bottle.
He comes up and hands me a gift bag, and there's this Cable 14 Yeti in it, and I have it everywhere with me. Usually some type of tea or coffee.
Yep.
As Jeremy Veilleux up to the plate.
Veilleux 0 for 1 in the contest, does have a walk and a stolen base. And struck out looking in the first.
I found at David's Tea, they have a bourbon caramel vanilla.
Oh.
That is just outstanding.
I usually tend to stick with the classics, the old orange Pico.
That's what's in here right now.
Yeah. Usually a coffee in the morning and tea the rest of the day.
Yeah, we're on the same page. We are on the same page. As Kozak delivers. Is that a dad thing? Because
I don't know if it is, but yeah, I would definitely think. I don't remember drinking coffee that often before I had children.
But this morning, I needed a coffee.
Yep. Well, the Sheridan apparently has a Starbucks in the base on the lower level, so.
Yeah, right in the lobby. It's out. Yeah, you walk down.
Jenny came marching back up, and I'm like, oh, where'd you get that? She's like, I know. She knows I don't drink Starbucks just because, I do too much. I deal with Starbucks too much at work, so that just kind of. Not like I'm anti-Starbucks. I just deal with them too much at work.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, it's right down there in the lobby. It's actually accessible from Jackson Square as well. As Kozak delivers, and a double steal was on as Wilson and Burdett both skipped their way up a base.
And both stolen bases on the double steal.
So Wilson has swiped a pair.
Now Veilleux's got 2 in scoring position and still nobody away in this inning.
And now 1 as Kozak gets him swinging. That was a key out. The double steal took the double play.
Yep.
away from Kozak if there's a ball on the ground.
The infield still has to be in here as they still have to pretty much commit to keeping these runners where they are. It's hit at you, you look the runner back, and you throw across the diamond now.
Kozak delivers, and that one off the outside.
And if you catch somebody leaning a little too far off third base, maybe you go after him.
Does look like Kate Kozak has settled a bit since coming in. Runs this one inside, and I believe that Bateman ended up teeing that one back foul.
Yep.
1-1. Kozak showing no fear there, Neil. Worked outside, then came right back in.
Pitcher's got to be fearless, that's for sure.
Delivering on the 1-1. Johnson that time maybe a little bit too much on the frame.
Yeah.
He really
tried to bring it
he
back.
He tried to buy that one.
The umpire could just like, son, I'm not falling for that one. I'm
No.
not falling for the banana up the tailpipe.
No.
No. Kudos if you know the reference.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
No, actually, no.
No?
No. You can go further back even.
Oh.
But
okay.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. All right. I do remember a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode when Will was instructing his sister to put a potato in the tailpipe and key the car.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
She put the keys in the tailpipe and potatoed the car. As Lane Renault in foul territory will bring that down.
That one is a little easier catch for Renault this time.
He didn't have to front flip
Yeah.
to make a catch.
I'll have to check in with him tomorrow, make sure he's okay. Where's he got bumps and bruises? If he's got the fence mark in the midsection.
So he
or
might have
something.
an indent right
Yeah.
across the gut.
Thankfully, those things are padded at least with the plastic coating or something. That would just hurt going over.
Oh. I don't. Yeah, if there wasn't that there, I don't think you're doing that.
No, I think you're definitely stopping.
Yeah.
2 away now for Evan Ryan.
And again, complexion changes as Kozak works in fastball, and that's teed back into the mesh.
Ryan 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts here. See, for Kozak, maybe you have that in the back of your head. Hey, this guy struck out twice here. I can maybe get him to chase something out on the outer half.
Each of the 3 Cardinals pitchers on the game now have at least 1 strikeout. That one down, and very quickly Ryan giving the signal back to third base. Hold up.
Yep, hold up. It's not going past him. Johnson being a wall behind the plate.
For a very young catcher at this level, Johnson's called a really strong game.
He definitely has. Of course, there's a lot of a learning curve. None of these 3 new pitchers he's probably not seen much of, other than the occasional bullpen.
Kozak delivers, and that one shot back foul. And now Kozak finds himself wow, that ball almost came bouncing up here.
It bounced off something off the steps and took a redirection.
Goodness. I
Almost got an unexpected souvenir in the press box.
Just about had a heart skip a beat there. I'm all right.
Saw it coming out of the corner of my eye. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I did the same thing, and I almost ended up under the table. As, again, Ryan will tee that one back into the fencing. But at one point, runners in scoring position, nobody out. And Kozak has worked his way to within 1 strike of getting out of the jam.
Done a good job so far. I'd love to finish it off.
Kozak with the look in. He'll wind and deliver. And again, Ryan extends the at-bat. And I think that last foul that almost came up to us got the fans right back into it here.
They're definitely more awake, that's for sure.
Oh, boy.
They're a little bit more alert.
Yeah, everybody look out. As Kozak has the look. And time
was called by the batter.
Yep. Just before.
So the league is working on adopting some new rules this year.
Yeah, I've read about a look at pace of play rules.
Yep.
Have you got any insight on that for us, Neil?
Well, a little bit as far as they're going to. The time between innings is definitely shortened down to 2 minutes and 15 seconds. There's a couple innings like the third and the sixth inning when we usually do kids run the bases here. And the sixth inning we're allowed to go a little bit longer. And of course the seventh inning stretch, obviously, because it makes sense. But yeah, it's going to be different as far as that stuff. They're looking at the disengagement rules as well as far as the pitchers and everything else, and mound visits as well. But there's not going to be any punishments or penalties attached to them this year. They're going to slowly introduce them over the year from what I've heard.
Makes sense.
Just to get used to it, to try to speed these things up a little bit, because you and I have called some pretty long ball games in this ballpark.
Some marathons. Cade Kozak got the strikeout, so he strikes out 2 of the 3 outs, gets out of the jam. Cardinals, bottom of 6, a chance to maybe not have to play the home half of 7 when we return to Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball on Cable 14. It's Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball preseason edition here on Cable 14. New pitcher in for the Red Sox, and he's a newcomer. It's Norman Coleman Goodwin, is the way he is listed on the Red Sox website. In stadium, believe he was on the lineup card as Norman Coleman for the game today. So that's what we'll go with.
Yeah, the native of Belrose, New York, so not a big trek across the border, but still another import for this Red Sox team.
And it might be time to fear the beard.
Yeah.
He immediately comes in with one of the best beards in the IBL.
He's going to give the guy from Barrie a little run for his money.
Yeah, he will.
Sorry, best mustache is still Tyler Duncan.
There's no contest there.
No.
Colby Ring is trying.
Major's also introducing a brand new look to their uniforms as well tonight. Just got the inbox message a couple minutes ago, actually.
Wow.
For celebrating their 100th anniversary.
Pinstripes.
Yeah.
As a Boston Red Sox fan, I'm not sure how exactly to feel about that. But it looks good.
It does look good. A little tip of the cap to Matt Hiscock and Scott Dart and company down in London.
It's not the Yankees, so I think I can feel good about it.
Yep.
Yankees. It's 0-2 to Lane Renault.
We won't mention the Blue Jays too much this year.
You got to think they're going to snap out of it at some point.
Something's going to have to give, or it's going to be a lot of people going out the door.
Renault swinging strike 3 as Norman Coleman retires the first batter he faces. That'll bring up Tyler Duncan. Yeah, you got to believe, Neil, that at some point either that group for the Jays is going to get it together or else
it's going to be a fire sale very quickly. Well, you look at Guerrero's got this year, then he's a free agent again at the end of the year, or he's got some sort of, but they only signed him for the 1-year deal, so it's going to be hard to say.
And the one thing for the Blue Jays is you got to believe that if they were to make any of those players available, a Guerrero, a Bichette, you're going to get a haul in return.
Oh, that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be the asking price. It's going to be a king's ransom.
So at some point, you may be able to turn it on a dime and very quickly reload the roster.
And I think that as much as they don't want to do that right now, I think they're going to have to look at something.
As that ball runs inside to Duncan. What is the – so I'm not watching a ton of Blue Jays games because generally I've got the Red Sox on, but
Yep.
what is the biggest
They're
issue?
just not hitting the baseball right now. They're not scoring
That's-
runs. They're just not able to find ways to win ball games.
Not able to manufacture them.
Like, it's sad when your pitcher if he knows if he gives up more than 4 runs, you're not going to win a ball game.
That's tough. That is tough.
There's just not been consistency 1 through 9 to get runners across.
Yeah, looking at just from a statistical point of view, it's been kind of eye-popping to see the numbers at George Springer.
Yep.
It's just not working. As that ball comes in low, and it's a full count to Tyler Duncan.
It seemed like they all got their hopes up in December when they thought they were going to get Ohtani, and then when it didn't transpire and that whole afternoon went to that Friday afternoon debacle happened, and
Wow,
it's just
that
like,
was-
I don't know.
That was something else. Duncan on the ground. Heavy hop, but it's handled, and it's 2 away. Nice job over at second base by Bowles on a few occasions. We've seen some funky bounces off the infield grass and the infield dirt at
Yep.
Bernie Arbor Stadium, and Bowles has handled it well.
And now Tanner Rimple will be the batter. He is 1 for 1 in the contest. Also been hit by a pitch and stole a base.
So can Tanner Rempel provide a bit of a spark here with 2 away? If the Cardinals do not manufacture a run the rest of the way here in the bottom of the 6th, it will assure that they will play the home half of the 7th.
Yep.
As that outside. As Rempel having a look out to Coleman. That one cuts inside, and it's 2-0. And again, the scoreboard has stayed clean from the first inning on.
Yep.
Coleman just catches the outside edge. 2-1. How many times have we been in this situation, Neil, where we're in the bottom of the 6th inning and we haven't seen a run scored since the first?
Not too often in this ballpark, but it just tells you the pitchers guys are definitely fighting for positions here.
Rempel fights it off, and he's going to earn himself another single. Floats it down, and
Took one off the page from Matt Fabian there.
Luis Bernardo is going to bat.
Yep. The Coleman Blues just probably playing defensively out there and not letting them take a bat. Giving, like I said, Luis Bernardo just probably a couple days, an inning or 2 off from being on the field.
Bernardo swinging away at the first pitch, on the ground to short, and we will head to the top of the 7th inning, all tied, 1 aside, 1 inning left to play, and we'll see how it all shakes out when we return to Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball on Cable 14. It's Hamilton Cardinals IBL baseball on Cable 14, top of the 7th. It's the last inning of exhibition play, and it's Casey Howard who will take the mound for the Cardinals. And Neil, Casey Howard, an interesting case in that he joins Brandon Nicholson and Brett Lawson as players who have come over from the Welland Jackfish.
Another former Jackfish making his debut here in the Cardinals uniform after a long time with the Jackfish organization.
I believe we saw him pitch in a couple of games as a member of the Jackfish here last season.
He did, in fact, indeed.
And he looks very comfortable on the Kearney Arbor Stadium bump. And as you mentioned, Callum Blue just playing defense. He is indeed back out to left field.
Yep.
So just saving the wear and tear defensively on Luis Bernardo.
Oh, exactly, especially when they've got, this will be the third game they've played this week. Bernardo's been on the field for most of those innings. And of course they got another one on Sunday, and then it starts to count Thursday night in Kitchener.
And are you on the call for that game?
I'm on the call. I'm solo that night, actually.
You're solo that night, okay.
Yeah.
And then you're going to join me Friday night.
Yep.
Back here for the home opener. I can't wait.
Neither can I. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's always great. Friday nights in this ballpark, there's just something special about it when the sun starts to set here and you get those beautiful night skylines.
Yep. Or the really crazy ones when the storm clouds are rolling past us at Mach 10.
And we're sitting here going, huh,
yeah,
we're in a bubble.
We're in a bubble here. Not sure how it happened, but we're in a bubble.
Remember the one night last season when the entire sky was orange?
Yep.
There were clouds all the way around us, orange sky, and we got nothing.
Yep.
Weird. Casey Howard's first pitch is to Tebbett, and it's fouled back, 0-1.
Graham Tebbett is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Casey Howard looks like dished him out a third here, a third helping.
Howard
Foul
delivers.
for a strike.
0-2.
Tebbett will be followed by Roger Keane and Tyler Wilson, the extra batter, before they head back to the top of the order. And Matt Fabian waiting in the wings in the 4 spot.
And I'm sure Casey Howard would like to avoid that if he could. Howard delivers, swinging, strike 3. Is it any wonder why George Leem went out and got Casey Howard?
Yep.
That fastball is deadly. That's the 9th strikeout by a Hamilton Cardinals pitcher today by my count. I could be off.
I think you're actually right. We don't have the K counters up today, but of course, once we get in the regular season, Little Caesar has the K count. I believe we're making a donation every time there's a strikeout by a Cardinals pitcher.
I like that a lot. Let's hope for a whole bunch of them. 1-0 the count. Howard's pitch runs outside to Keane, 2-0.
Johnson's reassuring Howard, hey, it was a great spot, man. Throw that one again.
Howard with the look in. It looks like they did go right back for it and overpowered it.
Casey Howard was a graduate of Missouri Baptist University. Also spent some time at the University of Guelph when I think he was working on his master's.
So a really good pitcher and a really smart guy.
Yep, and he's now a teacher, either in the Welland school system or the Hamilton school system. I can't remember which one it was.
I'm thinking it might be Hamilton because there was a bunch of kids chanting for Mr. Howard.
Well, there
it
you go.
Is again.
Yep, there you go.
As Casey Howard has the look in, he'll deliver, swinging, strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts.
He is dealing today.
Casey Howard is feeling it. And this is what the Cardinals used to have to see against them.
Yep.
Tyler Wilson steps in.
Wilson 1 for 2, a strikeout looking, and a single in the 5th. He got stranded at third base.
And Howard, the righty, looks in. And that one teed way out of here. Foul ball. What did that hit?
I'm not sure.
That looked like it was. That hit the light pole?
Might have.
Some of the kids were pointing up towards it.
Yep.
Because that one from our angle, Neil, looked like it was traveling out past the stands.
Yep, and all of a sudden just redirected.
Just into foul territory.
Didn't get the familiar pong or anything to ping off the post. It must have been the light standard.
Ball on the ground at third base. Rempel, scoop, over to first. Not going to get it.
Johnson up quickly to get it to keep the base runner at first.
And Fabian will get a chance to bat here in the top of 7.
Stepping up to the plate, the right fielder, number 24, Matt Fabian.
I'll go in the books as an E5 on Rempel on the throw. I think in that case he just realized, okay, he got to the ball quickly and then maybe overthought the throw.
I think by the time he looked up, had it secured, he saw Wilson charging. I think you're right, Neil. Maybe overthought, maybe a little rushed. Howard will look to deal. Fabian teased that one. That one's definitely out of here foul.
That one's out of here foul and up the pathway behind us.
Going in that direction, that might end up my parents' backyard.
You get a call from your dad. Found something in tomato vines or something, yeah.
Hey, Dad, have a look in the peonies.
Yep.
As Howard will deliver. Strike 2. Can Casey Howard catch Matt Fabian here?
Like he is almost on the plate.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room to work inside.
Like he is challenging these guys to go after him inside.
Howard delivers, tried it outside, and maybe trying to get Fabian to swing away.
That's the one thing about Matt Fabian. He won't chase it. Like where he stands, he knows exactly, okay, my bat can reach so far across the plate and into the other batter's box, but you're not going to get me to chase the one out there. At least not too often.
Howard will wind and deliver. Couldn't get that one off the outside.
Johnson tried to pull that one in slightly, but the umpire didn't buy it.
Fabian almost gave him a nod like,
yeah, that's a good
nice
spot.
try.
Good try.
2-2. We've seen Fabian battle back from 0-2 down in this ball game once before. And he's going to tee this one into center field. Danny Berg steps back. He's under, and he's got it. Casey Howard works the clean inning.
Now it's up to the Cardinals bats to either win this one or go home with a tie.
And Howard gave a bit of a signal out to his students who were cheering him on the whole way. The Cardinals, as Neil said, one last chance. Can they walk it off for the second day in a row? We'll find out in the bottom of 7 right after this. It's Hamilton Cardinals IBL baseball. One last crack at it with the bats in their hands. Bottom of 7 for the Cardinals. They look to walk it off for the second day in a row. Meanwhile, Emily Thompson in the crowd. Not a surprise, she's singing Taylor Swift.
Oh, she's got the Taylor Swift singing along going on with an army of Swifties down there, that's for sure.
Yeah, I suppose it is an army.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I
don't know.
I'm surrounded by it everywhere.
Well,
I can't get away from it.
have teenage daughters. That's all I can say. When that when the Taylor Swift era concert went on Disney. I think it's been on in my house like 9 times in the last, I don't know how many times.
I went home, I think it was last week, and my wife says to me, hey, have you listened to the new Taylor Swift album? I'm like, what? No. Why would, no.
I tried listening to it. I'm just like, the poor girl's just been broken-hearted every time. Like, God forbid the girl finds somebody she falls in love with and it works out well for her.
Wasn't it working out well with Travis Kelce, or am I way behind?
No, it's still working. As far as I know, it's still working out. But you never know. Like, Kelsey's everywhere. He's everywhere.
He is everywhere. I love his podcast.
Oh, the podcast is great. Like, I would love to interview those two guys, but I don't think I'd get through the interview straight-faced.
No, there's no way. Dennis DeBanning will take up.
Like the new news and everything else and whatever else they got going on.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Dennis DeBanning tees up Hayden Armitage. It's on the ground, trying to beat it out to first. Will not in time.
5-3 we go to put out. DeBanning is retired, and Josh Williams will come up here, and maybe he'll get a little lucky in one swing of the bat.
Well, if anybody could, Josh Williams would certainly be that guy.
To the plate, the designated hitter, number 8, Josh Williams.
And he's just got that sweet swing that if Hayden Armitage leaves one a little
too high
bit
in
too
the zone,
up,
it could be out of here in a hurry.
Armitage with the look in. Shakes off Veilleux. Now he'll wind and deliver. And Williams, he tried to reach down for it.
He was like, yeah, I'm going to club this one. Okay, yeah, maybe a little too far out of my comfort zone there.
He had eyes for it.
Yep. Then the bottom dropped out. Of course, you're watching at home and it suddenly got a lot quieter. It's because half the school kids had to go back to the school buses.
Yeah, the school buses have arrived. That's always the problem with the school day games is as you talked about yesterday, Neil, the school bus drivers have their schedules.
Yep.
They've got to do the runs home starting around 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Exactly.
So as we hit about 1:30, just before, the logistics on these events, great work by Eric Spearin and the Cardinals organization. Ball on the ground, Williams trying to run it out, not going to have the space.
Nope.
2 away.
Williams retired 4-3, and now we're down to our final out, and Brendan Daly.
Can Brendan Daly come up with a little bit of magic?
The second baseman, number 97, Brendan Daly.
Cardinals had the walk-off win yesterday. It was Cam Gravel who came up with the RBI single to walk it off. And I believe it was Brendan Daly who came across the plate to score that run. And, he saw a pitch he liked there, and Armitage pulled the string on it. Daly had the single to open up that inning. And if I remember correctly, it was Daly on third with Nicholson on second at the time.
Yep.
Photographic memory. I don't always get the right Polaroid, but
The right zip code.
I'll take it. Armitage outside to Daly. 1-1 the count. He'll wind and deliver, and that one cuts in low. Johnston would be next. If it gets back around to the top of the order, it'd be Berg.
Yep. Red Sox defense playing on the edge of the grass almost, just going to try to keep everything in front of them.
Armitage with the look in. And that one outside.
3-1.
So Johnston is in the on-deck circle, but behind him it is not Berg. There's a different Cardinal with the bat in his hands. I can't quite get the number. As Armitage will deliver. And, nice sweep on that. Just cut her back in. 3-2 the count.
I think Daly was intent to let Armitage just throw him a strike here.
Last strike for the Cardinals. Armitage delivers. Daly chops it, and that one will run back foul. And they'll do it over again. I believe it's Callum Blue who was handling a bat just outside of the Cardinals' dugout. I don't know if that'll result in him taking it at bat if it were to get there, or
Maybe it's just for show. Who knows?
an exhibition ball. Anything could happen. As Armitage will have to look into Veilleux. Full count delivery. Daly taps it and foul again. Veilleux staring down to the home plate umpire. He wanted that one.
It's like, come on, man, let me throw this one down.
It was an emphatic signal.
Look at the clock, and it's only 1:27 in the afternoon. I'm like, going, our day's almost done now? Like, what is this?
A little different.
Yeah.
A little bit different.
I know I've got an hour drive home, but still, it's just like, then I got laundry to do.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, I've got plans, but, I don't want to get to those plans till much later.
Yeah. I think laundry at my place is done, but I got to fold it, and I'm going to have that chance here shortly as Daly strikes out, and that is going to call an end to the proceedings.
Yep. Veilleux's not sure. It's like, you mean it's over? Just no extra innings here? Like, come on.
We will finish this game all knotted up at 3 apiece.
We one apiece.
At 1 apiece. Pardon me. Neil, that will run it to the end for us in the exhibition season. The Cardinals will open their season on Thursday night before coming back here for Mitsubishi Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. Your thoughts as we get set to get going for real.
I think we saw some really good positives today as far as everything else. The guys got some swings in. The pitching staff, wow. They went out there and did what they had to do. They cut down the runs and threw up a lot of strikes and a lot of strikeouts.
Colby Ring, Drew Main Prize, Nick Davey, Callum Blue, Mitsuki Akatsuka, Takachi Iguchi, Cade Kozak, and Casey Howard. That is 8 different pitchers combined in the last 2 games to allow just 4 runs.
Yeah, that's a great start.
4 runs over 14 innings. Outstanding work by the Cardinals. And Neil, the next time we convene, it's for real.
It's for real, yeah.
Mitsubishi Friday Night Baseball. Next Friday night, a week from today, we get it all started up, and we will be with you on Cable 14, Hamilton Cardinals IBL Baseball. It's about to get very real. We'll talk to you again Friday night.